Hey guys, Oloropo here. Let's discuss the power of purpose and principles. So, what does it mean to have purpose and principles and how they make you powerful? Well, principles are the guidelines in which you live by. They are the things that you do not have falter on, things that you don't question. They're the things that put you in a specific place and you understand these are the principles I live by, and I won't step outside of these principles for any reason. I won't step outside of them for money. I won't step outside of them to be accepted. I won't step outside of them. They are my principles. They are the guide work. They are the lane markers for my journey. And then what is purpose? Purpose is your destination. Purpose is what you work towards, what you invest in. It's your future, right? So your purpose is what you do now pays into your future, and it's driven by those principles. So if your values are your family, your values are contribution and dedication and investment and the things that are important to you, those are your values, which you use your purpose and your principles to work towards. Now, here's the great thing about it. Once you have principles that are in line with where you want to go and you understand your purpose and that it takes work to get to it, it makes it easier to do the things that you want to do. They no longer become frustrating, they no longer become a headache. When you have purpose and you have principles, when you're working, you don't have to ask yourself why, because you've answered those questions. If you have a purpose and you come onto some difficulty, I'll give you a great example. In a relationship, if you have a purpose in your relationship, if you have a purpose in your marriage, and you're not just in it because someone said you should be married, or you're not just in it because for a lot of people the purpose of their marriage is their children. Oh, well, we're together for our children. And for many of these couples, once there's no longer a need for support from both of them for the children, the couple dissolves because there was no purpose in that union. But when you do have a purpose in that union and it's guided by your principles, then even when the children move out, even when it's just the two of you, even when there's difficulty, because you have principles and purpose, you understand this is just a part of the journey. And so even in those difficulties, you're able to continue to mend, you're able to continue to grow, and you're able to move forward. And so purpose and principles are powerful because they allow for you to make decisions and take actions that are driven by a bigger cause, that are driven by something bigger than just you. Now, for a lot of people, they may not have this purpose. You may not have these principles. So how do you find it? You have to start to ask yourself questions. And when you start to ask yourselves questions, you will find what is known as your genesis. Your genesis is your starting point. The genesis is the point when you're no longer driven or directed by what your parents tell you to do. You're no longer driven or directed by what the school system says, where you have to be and when you have to be there. You started to ask questions about why. And ask questions in a way where you're seeking answers, not just to be resistant. When you start to ask those questions, you start to seek out answers. Those answers will start to give you guidelines by which you drive yourself. For most of us, our principles are things that are instilled into us, either from our surrounding or from our parents. But even as we grow, we can expand on those. We can add elements to them. For example, the generation that my parents came from said simply, in order for you to be happy in life, you need to work hard. And then if things aren't working out for you, work harder. And if they're still not working out, work more and continue to work hard. And then there was no information given as to how do I take control of my own happiness. So this was something that I had to learn. This was something that I had to develop. This was something that I had to figure out. And so as I move forward and as I grow, of course, I want to share this with my children. The expectation is that in every generation, I am able to help move my family forward by sharing with them the things that I've learned. And of course, the expectation that they will learn more. They will help to change the world because the world is going to change. So where there is no challenge, there is no change. Where there is no change, there is no growth. This is why purpose and principles are so important. Because with purpose and principles, you can take this journey understanding that long after you're gone, it's going to continue to feed into your family and into the world. You are a part of the process and a part of the future. So we want to continue to keep that in mind. The true power of principles and purpose is that they give you the guide marks, they give you the path and the framework for the future that you look to see. Thank you for stopping in, guys. God bless.